You must never go anywhere without your phone, right? Our mobile phones and social media applications today help us stay in touch with what's happening around us. But what if the government starts using phones to their advantage? What if it uses our mobile phones to create an Orwellian dystopia? France has approved a bill which is a bit similar to that idea. The police will now be able to spy on people through mobile phones and other devices. The controversial reform bill has sparked criticism, especially from human rights groups. Will the new reform infringe on the citizens' privacy rights? What is the French government saying? What is its justification? Our next report getting you the answers.
While France is witnessing protests against the Macron government, lawmakers have passed a bill which is drawing a lot of criticism. So, what is the new justice reform bill? With 80 votes in favour of the bill, lawmakers have agreed that the police should be able to spy on suspects through electronic devices. The devices can range from mobile phone cameras to the microphones on laptops. The police can access the geolocation of a suspect and track them down. But there's an exception. The suspect's crime should be punishable for at least 5 years in jail. How does the government justify this move? MPs in President Macron's camp say that the amendment limits the use of surveillance. How? They say that the remote spying will take place, and I quote, when justified by the nature and seriousness of the crime. Officials say the duration of the surveillance can't exceed 6 months and that the provision has to be approved by a judge. The government has excluded some people from being spied on. Professionals like doctors, journalists, lawyers, judges, and members of parliament cannot be considered targets. Why does it matter what profession a criminal belongs to? Does this bill not consider equality? The opposition parties and human rights groups have called out the government. They have called the bill an authoritarian snooper's charter. The opposition says that once the bill becomes a law, it will be practically impossible to dodge government surveillance, even with VPN services or encrypted messaging. Digital rights groups have shown concern on the infringement of fundamental liberties. They have highlighted certain rights that could be compromised, like the right to security, right to a private life, right to private correspondence, and the right to freedom of movement. Rights groups say that the government is using this as a smokescreen to establish a surveillance state. In response to the heavy criticism, Justice Minister Eric Dupond-Moretti says that the law will be used to a dozen cases a year. He added that France is far away from the totalitarianism shown in George Orwell's novel 1984. Experts say the timing of the bill's passage couldn't be worse. France is reeling under intense protests against Emmanuel Macron's government. The protests are for the 17-year-old who died due to police brutality in a suburb. Will the new bill add fuel to the fire? Bureau Report, WION World is One.
WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.